again and welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds here with AFC Rushden and Diamonds. It's been a while since you were last here. We've played a lot of football, and as you can see from the league table there, things have not been going bad at all. We have got an absolutely crazy title race on our hands right now. We're at the 1st of January and the season has been going really well, but it's not all been good. You can see that on the right hand side there, we have just lost our last game away at Hitchin, who are in a mid-table, lower mid-table position. So it was a really disappointing defeat. But if we have a look at all the results, it's kind of been good and bad at the same time. The last time we were here, we lost 3-1 against Maidstone in the FA Cup third qualifying round. We got out of there with our pride intact against a team from the Vanarama South, one division above us. But then you can see straight after that, we played Salisbury in the Southern League Cup. Now, there are 3 Southern League divisions, and they all play together in the Southern League Cup. Yeah, I kind of wanted to have a bit of a good cup run, but we went away to Salisbury, who I think were in 7th place in their Southern League division, and it was an absolutely crazy game, and our defensive frailty once again came back to absolutely haunt us. It ended 4-4, and we then lost 6-4 in extra time. You can see we went ahead in the game twice. We were 2-1 up before we went 3-2 down. Jack Brown got 2 goals here. Then Jay Williams came up with an equaliser in the 86th minute before we then went behind 4-3 in the 92nd minute. And then a 97th minute penalty from Jamie O'Hara made it 4-4, took it into extra time. At that point, we were playing a wide open 4-2-4 as we'd just been throwing everything at it to try and get back into the game. And in injury time, we just couldn't keep the ball out. 2 more conceded. The final, a Diaz free kick in the 107th minute, as we were just pushing everybody on, chasing the game. And 6-4 it ended. A really big disappointment, and it really showed me that we really had to be more competitive without the ball. You can see here we started Jay Williams at centre back with Fenlon at right back, and it really didn't go well. We were, as the scoreline suggests, we were wide open, and also with Ben Ford in midfield, it kind of made me realise that we did need an upgrade for Ben Ford. As much as he helped us to just get our season back on track at the start of the year, it made me realise he's not quite at the level. Coming out of that game, we then played twice in the league. We beat Redditch at home, which was a very pleasing result. Then we went away to Leiston and absolutely destroyed them 4-0. That was a really good performance. Tom Lorraine getting on the score sheet after a Jamie O'Hara penalty, Jack Brown scoring again, and Ravi Shamsi getting his first league goal of the season. You can see it was a pretty even game, but we did just prove very clinical on the day. We then went away to Nuneaton Borough, who are going very well in the league as well, and we got a 1-1 draw there. Joel Giassi getting his first goal of the season, and then we had the game that changed it all. The FA Trophy third qualifying round. I really wanted a run in the FA Trophy. We went away to Colville. They are in our own division. At the point we played this game, they were, I think, in 13th place. They are now absolutely mired in a relegation battle, so they are not a great team. And you can see we dominated the game in terms of chances, shots on target, possession, completely controlled the game and lost 1-0. And again, this showed me that as good as Tom Lorraine has been for us with his 14 finishing, he is a little bit lacking on the mental and the physical side of things. And he just hasn't been 100% reliable goal scorer. There's been plenty of games like this season where we just haven't made the most of our opportunities. We haven't put the game to bed. And really, if Tom Lorraine and Jack Brown don't turn up, we've really struggled. So, yeah, after I lost this game, it was a very disappointing defeat. And we had a little bit of money available. Matthew Slynn was sold. He wasn't happy about not being in the team. So that gave us a little bit of wage budget to play with. So I used that to try and strengthen the areas that I felt were a real priority. We'll have a look at transfers in a minute. You can see we then drew 1-1 away at Bromsgrove Sporting. I think they were in third place at the time. Connor Furlong got the goal there to help us get out of there with a draw. And we then played Colville at home. And this was a little bit of a revenge mission. And you can see here, we won 2-1. Again, we completely dominate the game. It did take a very late winner from Jack Brown to get us the points, but it was thoroughly deserved. But the big thing was it was a first goal for AFC Rushden Diamonds for our new signing, Demalio Brown Sterling. You may remember he was on trial with us in the summer in pre-season. We couldn't work the budgets to get him in. He wanted a lot of money. So when we sold Matthew Slynn, it gave us the opportunity to just push the boat out rather, and bring in Demalio Brown Sterling. Now, he, you will remember, had been at Bolton previously. He'd been released from Bolton. And for our level, he is an absolutely sensational athlete. So he got on the score sheet here against Colville. He actually made his debut against Bromsgrove Sporting. Wasn't quite fit. And we then followed that up with a 3-0 win at home against Biggleswade Town, who are another team in relegation trouble. Another really good performance. Brown Sterling with 2. Jamie O'Hara with a penalty. And if I just go back to Brown Sterling, you can see here, athletically, he is absolutely superb for our level. Just has no weakness whatsoever. 6 foot tall. Not the best technically in terms of not having a standout attribute to rely on, but he is very solid in everything, and the same mentally. Now, he may not look much here, but I have compared him to all the other strikers we have looked at this season and the other strikers we've seen in our division. He is better than all of them. And you can see he's got 8 goals in his first 6 games. The only game he has not scored in was against Bromsgrove Sporting. So that was a really pleasing performance. And we were now starting to build up a little bit of a head of steam. We went away to Barwell, who are, well, at this time they were in mid-table. They are now pushing up the table themselves. We threw away a 3-1 lead here. But again, Brown Sterling with 2 more goals, could have had a hat-trick in this game, had one disallowed look in the 93rd minute. But again, we were kind of undone here by our defensive frailties. Once again, Williams was playing at centre-back with Fenlon at right-back. That combination just seems to have hit us a few times. When Collard hasn't been playing at centre-back, we have looked a lot more vulnerable. We had to bring him off the bench in this game to try and shore things up. We had a brilliant first half performance, absolutely blew them away. 3-1 up, or 3-2 up at half time, but 3-1 up at one point, and it ended in the end 3-3, courtesy of an O'Hara own goal in the second half. What we did do for this game was bring in Mark Waddington. He is my Benford upgrade, and you can see he has 13 strength, which is a real weakness of the team. He can do a little bit of tackling with his nine tackling there, but he's a real hard worker, got great passing vision, so he can participate with the ball as well. And yeah, he's just a little bit of an upgrade on Ben Ford. We're paying him £220 a game, which is not cheap, but I think he was worth it. He's come in and done really, really well for us. But he is actually on the bench for today's game, which we'll speak about in a moment. Then we went and played Lowestoft. We won that game 2-0. They're another struggler. And again, Brown Sterling, 2 more goals for him. A really, really good performance all round. Collard was back in at centre-back. And we actually have here another new signing who I have brought in. And he is Matt Richardson, a centre-back. And again, he's another one of these players that doesn't have like a real standout quality, so he doesn't look like much. But when you compare him to other players, he is just really, really solid and really, really well-rounded in everything. And he is actually, on paper, better than Alex Collard. So he's coming in to give us a little bit more competition at centre-back. So that really rounds out the squad nicely. We've had a few players leave now. If we look at transfer history, we've released a few different players, but Ryan Hughes has also been sold. He was on over £300 a week. So that was really good to move him out. And we have literally just signed in the last couple of weeks Kingsley James, centre midfield. Again, he is another upgrade on Ben Ford. Look at his mentals. He is mentally absolutely superb, physically very, very strong. And he is also a great leader, great determination, lots of bravery and aggression. And Kingsley James is actually going to start today's game. If we look at the team we've got set up, he is going to come in and he is going to partner Jamie O'Hara in the midfield. Waddington is going to drop to the bench. So that new look forward line with Brown Sterling and Brown now has hopefully a more solid midfield behind it. I think we'll be all right for today's game, but we are really struggling away from home. We are very, very open away from home. I've got to look, maybe I'm thinking maybe away from home, playing with a more balanced mentality, but this is the way we're lined up for today's game. Johnny Hurd is at left back because unfortunately we have another injury for Sam Warburton. He's out, I think, for another week or so. So Johnny Hurd comes in at left back, but then the rest of the team is very, very much our starting 11. I've been trying to look for an upgrade on Ravi Shamsi. He has not been playing well at all. You can see his form over the last 5 games, a 6.54 rating. I'm desperately trying to find a good right winger. They are really, really hard to come by. I've got an absolute bunch of, you see the green names here, players in on trial. Most of these are right wingers, the best of which is Kieran Bywater, ex-West Ham. Now, he has got a little bit about him in terms of his aggression and his crossing ability and good off the ball awareness, a little bit of vision, but he's actually, if we can compare him to Ravi Shamsi, he's not as highly rated. So I'm really struggling to find wingers, and I've actually changed Ravi to an inverted winger on support for today's game. He's been playing as an inside forward. He hasn't really done it. So a little bit of a new role for him today. Hopefully that's going to bring out a little bit more from him, because yeah, at our level it seems like wingers are just in very, very short supply. So that's the team. Let's go forward to this game. We can actually go top with a win today against second place Tamworth. I was going to come back for the Peterborough Sports away game. That is next week. I don't think I'm going to do a double header because I've been talking for 15 minutes now. So no double header. But in the next few weeks, we have got a number of games against Peterborough Sports, against Royston, against Banbury. So we've got a lot of big games to play right now. So let's see if we can get this win against Tamworth, put ourselves in first place. We could have, of course, done that had we won our last game, but that 3-2 defeat kept us down there on 29 points, but everybody else around us is dropping points, and it's produced this absolutely amazing title race as we approach the halfway stage of the season. See St Ives there on 30 points, but we do have 2 games in hand. Tamworth and Hensford also on 29 points, as are Bromsgrove Sporting with 1 game more played, and Alvechurch are only 3 points behind us. Peterborough Sports and Barwell only 4 points behind. Then you've got Royston only 5, Redditch the same. It's just an absolutely insane league at the moment. Nobody has taken control of it, and with us giving up our 11-game unbeaten run by losing the last game, we now have to kind of do it all again. I do think if we can put together another big run, if we can go another 10, 11, 12 games unbeaten, I think the team that does that is going to take control of this league. So let's head into this game today. Kingsley James lacking a little bit of fitness. He's been in on trial, and he has been playing under 18 games. So I'm hoping he's going to be okay to last the 90 minutes if we need him to. But we are now much more rounded in midfield. We've got a lot more strength in depth. So hopefully that is going to help us for the rest of the season now to really be a much more secure side, dominate games a lot more in the physical sense. Right, let's have a look. What do we want to tell the players here? Now, I think I'm going to talk about the fans. Let's give the fans their money's worth. No one reacts. None of the players care about the fans. Fortunately, trusting you to make a difference. 1 or 2 have reacted. Okay, so that's not a very good team talk. I don't think I'm going to make any more tactical changes. Just that change to Ravi Shamsi in terms of his role. Hopefully that is going to bring out a little bit more creativity from him. I haven't used it before because he's not a great crosser of the ball, but it is supposedly his best position. So he's playing that today. With Tamworth being second place in the league, I would like to see a really good positive performance today. The players not too happy right now. Let's encourage them. They've reacted well to that. So we've had a few more shots than them, and we've got a lot more possession, but so far no highlights in this game as we approach the half-hour mark. And Tamworth getting the first highlight here. Can we win it back? I do actually want to try and play a little bit more high-intensity pressing. Now that I've made a few adjustments to the squad and got a few more physical players in, I want to be able to try and press players. And my goodness, that is an absolutely awful mistake from Alex Collard. Alex Collard here, that is a simple header that he's just missed. Absolutely awful, and the poor positioning of our centre-backs really has produced a few errors like that through the season. I kind of accepted it as something at this level, but at the same time, it's really frustrating to see it. Can we now start to get hold of this game? A good little spell of possession off the kickoff. Can we get straight back into it? I certainly wouldn't want to lose 2 in a row after going 11 unbeaten. Collard this time does get a good header in there. And Williams will look to cross. Can we finish? Brown Sterling over the bar. He's technically not the greatest. I'm not going to give a shout until I see the outcome here. Brown Sterling again heads over. Let's demand more from the players. He's technically not the greatest. He physically absolutely dominates at this level. But he does have technical deficiencies. We've had just those 2 shots on target. But we are the dominant team here. Can we now start to make it count? I'm pleased that we've looked the better side, even though we're not doing enough with it in terms of getting those shots on target. O'Hara into Brown Sterling. Brown, can he? No, he can't find a through pass. And they're now going to get the chance perhaps to counter-attack. Into Eli, and we get it back again. Can we? Oh, we need to get a little bit further up the field. We're losing the ball there, just inside their half. And they're in again as Reeves outpaces Collard. Oh dear, oh dear. Let's make some adjustments here. We are going to play, we are going to press a little bit higher up and with more intensity. And I don't know what else I want to change because we really are the dominant team here. Let's play for set pieces and be more expressive. We are the dominant team in terms of possession, in terms of shots, but we just haven't troubled them enough. And Alex Collard has made, for me, 2 absolutely abysmal errors. Really, really poor. Oh dear. How do we get back into this? I mean, they've had 4 shots on target. That's where the difference lies. Oh dear. Show them what you're all about in the second half. Again, nobody reacts. Let's try and get everybody motivated by telling them we've got faith. But we've got to do much, much better here against the top teams in the league. If we want to put ourselves in that title race, we have got to do better than this in the big games. And again, it is headed over by Brown Sterling. That is 3 headers from set pieces that he has headed over the bar. What can we do now? Can we get ourselves into this game? As Jack Brown goes forward and it's another wild shot. Oh my goodness. Really disappointing to have had so much possession, created so many chances, and to only have 2 on target. Ravi Shamsi has been poor again. I'm going to make a little change here, which I don't know if this might be an option for the future. I'm going to bring Tom Lorraine on as a poacher, but I'm going to leave him out on that side of things to kind of occupy their left back when we don't have the ball. Kingsley James, I'm going to make a change here and bring Mark Waddington on, maybe with his better passing range. I'm going to put him on support. Let's see if we can just maybe with Tom Lorraine up front, maybe just produce a little bit more inside their area. That's really the only area we've lacked in. And back-to-back defeats here would be very disappointing. Let's demand more again. Can we get hold of this? Brown Sterling again. He's had a poor game, but he gets in on this one. Furlong. And Hurd then puts it wide. And again, our finishing is just not good enough. Very frustrating to be so pleased with the performance. And at the same time, let's get Jay Williams off. He's very tired. Jim Fenlon will come on. What can we do here? Let's just... I mean, do I want to shoot on sight or work into the box? We've been shooting a lot and haven't really done anything with it. I'm going to up the tempo and be a little bit more direct. We're going to be a little bit more direct. We're going to try and counter rather than playing too much in possession. And we're just going to go all out pressing. to finish this game. Jim Fenlon, he has done well in some games, and then other games he's been very, very poor. We certainly need a performance from him here. I think we are not going to get anything out of this. We're going to go very attacking for the last 4 minutes. Hopefully we can get a goal here and put ourselves in a situation where something might be salvageable as it's put in. And another one headed over the bar by Brown Sterling. On his live com debut, he has been absolutely appalling. 18-6 before today, and missing a hatful here, and another one missed. Unbelievable. And now Alex Collard heads over as well, and that, I think, is going to be all she wrote. 22 shots and only 4 on target. It really has been a major problem for us throughout the season, not finishing off games we dominate. Ravi Shamsi poor again. Furlong absolutely terrible. What do we do here? Now the assistant is kind of wanting me to be annoyed at them, but I don't want to tell them to be happy either. It's disappointing we didn't win considering we were on top. Let's leave it at that. Most of them reacted okay. So yeah, that's where we are. What do I do? These tactics, do I try and work the ball into the box a bit more to create a better chance? I think I've got to do that. I think for the next game against Peterborough Sports, I think we're going to be working the ball into the box, and we're probably going to play a balanced mentality away from home with the amount of goals we're conceding away. That is a really disappointing defeat. 2-0 in a game that we dominated so much, and we now find ourselves 3 points off top spot. So we've now wasted 2 great opportunities to go top of the league. Well, that will be all from us today. We'll leave you with the league table there. We are not out of it by any means. I think that top spot is absolutely up for grabs. Hopefully with the new signings we've made, hopefully we can now get a little bit of momentum going with nobody really grabbing the pace in the league. No one has really established themselves as top dogs. So hopefully now we can be the team that goes on a little bit of a run. We have got those tough games coming up now. Peterborough Sports, who are now just 1 point behind us. I think the next couple of months is really going to determine if we can be maybe the dominant team in the league, or if we're going to be fighting it out maybe for a playoff spot. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. Thanks for watching. As always, if you've enjoyed it, give a like to the video, and we will see you very soon for the next episode of Dog Turds into Diamonds. Can we save our season?